I felt this was appropriate considering who is on today.
Rock and roll.
Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I am Comic Book Bob.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And this is Nerd Culture Clash. And we got some special guests today. We're doing things a little different. Going to give the floor to some friends, let them push their projects, and we're going to talk about some indie comics today. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to share this thing out and get some people's asses in here. So
yeah, let me show you
that.
the link so you can
Post that. All right. And we grab that and drop this in the comments section. Lost in Comics is in here, says, "What's up, guys? What's up, dude?" He pastes in here. As always, we always like to bring in some of the people from the chat if they so wish. Going to drop that in there for everybody. And going to drop that on here as well. Come join in. There we go. Post that. And post that. All right. Now that I got all that crap out of the way, let's get this started. Okay, so anyway, guys, thanks for being here with us again. Gus Tyler Bush says, "Hey, what's up, Gus?" Today, I asked a couple people that got some indie projects that they're getting ready to put out. George Peter Gatsis. George has been on the show a couple times before. George has got the latest chapter in his Joe King saga is getting ready to come out. And Black Angus, my brother from another mother, has a project coming out. Yeah, it's funny because we look nothing alike. He has got his book Meth Gator coming out, and he's got to tell the story about how he came up with this thing, because that cracked me the hell up when I heard it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna start off real quick here, just for anybody who does not know who you guys are. George, I'm gonna let you start off. Give us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Excuse me. I've been self-publishing my books since 1990. Joe King versus the World's Greatest Average Hero is issue 20. In my day job, I used to do marketing, advertising, branding for agencies. And I have, in my one of the many things that I've done is I've branded Card Captors, Metabots, Beyblade, Babar, Franklin the Turtle, created the style guides for these properties, worldwide brand properties. And now I'm continuing the adventures of Joe King and a whole bunch of other characters. That is a very unique story. It's science based. There's a lot of humor, in this book. And also, the reading experience is unique in this book. If you read just only the panels in my book, you get one narrative. If you read the notes in between the panels, like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of experience, you get a second narrative. But then you also get another narrative, which is a non-linear character. That's an additional reading experience of 20 pages in the book. Within the 120 pages, you'll get a 20-page experience just following a non-linear character in the book. And then if you pick up on the visual gags, you'll get a fourth narrative. So there's a lot of layering to this, a lot of layering. When you read it once, you'll come back and start picking up little details, and then you're going to go, oh my gosh. The science reference in the book is based on real-world science, like Planck's quantum mechanics, Einstein's equation, NASA's warp ring technology, gravitational warp field mechanics, heck, even large-scale farming and cause and effect.
Cool.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Cool deal, man.
Your average book.
And I know you do a lot. You do a lot of 3D stuff and everything like that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But moving it on over to like my boy here, Black Angus. Tell us about yourself, brother.
I actually shared the link to the pre-launch campaign page if you want to show that. My computer's really slow, so I'm not sharing my own screen right now.
I got it. There you go.
But
bro.
yeah, I want to correct everyone. This is I am writing the book currently. You can ask a few of my friends, Red Gaze. Wenger has read what I've written so far. He likes it. I'm actually getting through it faster now. The ideas are coming to me. But this campaign I'm pushing is a kind of, instead of a GoFundMe, like, hey, I have no money, help me be able to make this comic. I am putting my money in to make a couple posters through a few artists and having a campaign where it's like, instead of just GoFundMe throwing donations, you can support, invest in my work and get something in return. And also because the problem of CG and being late and stuff, this will be a trial run with a secondary item for me to learn the ropes and get better for the actual comic going to you. But yeah, the idea for Meth Gator is inspired by my buddy, the Red Gaze, who shout out to Red Gaze. He just got monetized, finally hit a K and stuff. So look forward to that. Good voice in Comicsgate. He covered this article where in Tennessee some meth heads are trying to flush their meth during a bust. So the police issued out a statement saying, "Don't flush your meth, you'll make meth gators." And so this was like a quick little, like, in the South, dumb shit, fun time on the internet. Hashtag meth gator, I guess, was a thing before I ever tried to make it a hashtag on Twitter thus far. And I just started my job at the time. And so I was just on a shovel and had a lot of free time. And I kept thinking about Meth Gator and like a kind of a Venom or Hulk character. So being fairly new to comics, my channel, when I get into comics, it's like you're growing your knowledge with me. It's not like we're deeply, rooted in understanding. But yeah, Meth Gator's kind of Hulk or Venom or, hints of Wolverine and Ghost Rider. Just all the cool kind of on the outskirts Marvel characters we like. That's what I want to bring. There's hints of TMNT. There's hints of Black Snake Moan, Dukes of Hazzard, definitely Breaking Bad. I'm wanting to just, how would I say it? Bill Clinton smoked pot, and then that made cocaine cool and all right with Bush and Obama. That's kind of what I'm doing. You had TMNT where it's just radioactive goop. There's no story. Now I'm going with radioactive meth. And that'll be a through line through this whole thing. It's going to be fun. It isn't slapstick silly, though. It really is like straight edge comic I'm writing.
No, I get it, man. I dig it. I just whenever you told that story, it just cracks me up. I love it. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and sign up for that. And what's the do you have the link for the GoFundMe?
Oh, well, that's not important, man. You don't gotta show that.
Oh no, I mean I want to drop it in there. I mean, maybe somebody wants to go over there and just take a look at it.
Well, I don't have a GoFundMe for this. That's totally separate.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, I was saying instead of a GoFundMe to support me as a creator.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
This is kind of my in between, where it's like, hey, I've put in money into this myself. If you want to help build me up with this initial campaign, here's something in return. So it's an alternative to GoFundMe.
I gotcha. I misunderstood that. Sorry about that, brother. But okay, cool deal, man. All right, so George, I'm gonna go ahead and let you give you the floor, sir, and we're gonna talk about your new campaign. Let me pull that thing up here, and there we go. And tell us about Double O Fluffy.
Double O Fluffy is just a holding website where I send people. It's a James Bond gag, a rabbit James Bond. It's something easy for people to pick up on instead of just sending them to some sort of corporate site or some site like George's Place or something like that. I wanted something to be memorable. Mm-hmm. So Double Fluffy is just it's a gag on James Bond. This character here, this is one of This is a splash page that appeared in the Joe King book, versus the World's Greatest Average Hero. I decided to use that as the starting graphic.
Yeah.
But if you go,
and then you started releasing some other pictures like this one right here.
That's right, I did. Now, this is one of the returning characters from the first book. This is female X, and in the first book, well, obviously, since you're looking at it right now, you'll know she evolved in the first book. She went from being human to human and machine by the end of the 120-page adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, her adventure continues.
And this is female X, right?
Female X. The reason why she's dubbed female X because she doesn't know who she is, and the doctor dubbed her by her sex and X as in unknown. So she took on that name as a badge.
Cool. Okay, and then see, we got some more down here. We got another one here. This is Amber.
Actually, refresh the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, refresh the screen.
Aha, the ship.
There we go.
George, tell us what this ship is.
This ship is their ship that's going to bring our heroes across the universe. It's called the Lady Star, and it's the size of 3 Winnebagos.
It looks vaguely familiar. Very cool though, man. And this is just another extension of you do a lot of 3D stuff, and
I do. I complement my story with art and 3D and photography.
Yeah, and then I remember you showing that DeLorean model you made and how it was like completely rigged out and everything. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you do the same thing with this one?
Yes. This one here is an upgrade from the ship in the first book. Story-wise, this ship has been ripped apart and torn down. And all weapons and internal spatial distortion field has been removed. The only thing this ship has got going for itself is speed. That's it. It's only built for speed. No shields, no weapons, no internal distortion field, nothing.
Cool.
They need to get their mission accomplished as quickly as possible because, like the little tagline there says, they just order a pizza and it will be delivered in 120 minutes. So every page of the book represents 1 minute.
Cool. I was just gonna say 120 pages, 120 minutes.
That's right.
And then we've got this character, Amber, the intern. With
yes, she was a field. She was field promoted to captain a couple of times in the previous book, and this time around it's going to stick permanently. So she is coming along in the story to get her hands wet on a first full captain's experience. Cool
deal. The captain's experience. Yeah, I got
it. They're going to be taking orders from her.
But then we got another picture of the ship here, which is really cool. And then we got Joe himself.
That's right. One of the many. The ship itself is based on the warp ring technology. So what it does is, yes, it does do a spatial distortion around the ship, but it also uses that distortion field to actually ride the the gravitational waves that exist in the universe. So they're actually traveling faster than light, actually a lot faster than warp 10, if you really want to put it in context to Star Trek, because these gravitational fields are everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I gotta tell you, man, when I first saw this character, the first thing that popped into my head was like Grover on meth.
Yes, Ro from a war campaign called him.
The first thing that popped in my head was like have you ever seen like those parodies of the Muppets where they're just batshit crazy?
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing that popped in my head when I saw this.
Yeah, Crack Grover is what Rose said.
But
well, this character is based on the Warner Brothers old style cartoons, Roadrunner, Coyote, gags and stuff like that.
The Merry Melodies kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to make the character as simple as possible. So all blue, cape is all red, and it's that simple. Nothing more. Nothing. No fancy armor. Nothing.
I love that.
That cape, which of course, since we're talking about book 2, everyone who's read book 1, that cape is actually Santa's big red bag. So Santa's not happy with Joe because he took his big red bag.
Cool.
Because every time Joe dips into his cape, he comes up with something.
Oh, sweet. So it's kind of like a bag of holding.
That's right.
Cool deal.
It's some kid's present that he never got.
It's called the Cape of Plenty.
Kind of some there you go. There's a feature number says, "I never got my weenie whistle." God.
Yeah, there's a nice gag in there where there's a whole page where Joe goes to Santa, sheepishly, to get the cape repaired, and Santa repairs it for himself. Santa, I'll be back for Christmas. Ho ho ho! Santa says, "You're still not off my naughty list."
Cool.
And here we have another shot of the ship, a different angle.
Yep, that's cool, man. And I want to get into a little bit of it because you're doing a lot more other stuff with 3D. You're doing a lot of that 3D printing and everything.
Yeah.
But what's your status so far with this book? Is it how close are you to launching this?
Oh, the story is completed. It's been done a long time ago. If you click on the World's Greatest Average Hero last icon at the bottom, it'll take you right to the previous. And I'll speak to what I'm planning with a new book while showing off the old book.
Okay. Cool deal.
Yeah, right there.
So you got you still got the digital download available.
Oh, it popped a new window, and we're still stuck on the old window.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on one second. I'm still new at this crap. And share the screen. And George Peter gets this.
The amazing thing about the Joe King story is that it is, you can have a kid read it, you can have an adult read it, and you'll get 2 different experiences. And then, like I said, and if you actually go back and read it again, you'll get at least 4 different experiences before you start to just go crazy. Okay, as you can see here, the World's Greatest Average Hero campaign, there's a digital offering right there, and you can get the book one level up. You can get the book with original art, and then even further down, you can also get the book with trading cards, up to, I kid you not, 18 trading cards.
Cool. So 120-page book, 18 trading cards. Free shipping, so that's that. You're taking a little bit of a.
I'm taking a hit, yes.
Yeah, a little bit of a hit there.
But for the people who really want an awesome, there's an oversized 13 by 19 inch hardcover book.
I see that. Nice.
That is huge. That is expensive, and that is custom made every single time.
Cool.
And there's blank pages in there which I draw. So so it's not just the book you get, but you also get original art that is actually part of the book. So I draw the original art, and then the custom book binder guy, he incorporates the book and the original art, so it's already stitched into the book.
Okay, so basically you're creating an original, recreating original pages, and they're being inserted into the book.
It's a one of a kind book.
Cool.
Every book that's ordered at this particular level, you get everything. Of course, you get the standard book, you get the trading cards, you get the original art, but then the oversized hardcover book, it's so unique, it's ridiculous.
Cool. And then also you get with the trading cards, you get an original sketch card included with that too. So
that's right, you do.
Sweet, cool. I love how you did this. You kind of got the allusion to the
Action Comics.
Action Comics, yeah, Superman.
Yeah.
I
cool.
thought that looked interesting. I was like, "What is that?" Yeah, because I'm newer to comics, so I'm like, I've seen the image, but it's not like.
So what I did was I mapped out in 3D space the Action Comics #1, and then when I actually did a rotation, I said, okay, so this character is here, that character is there. So these 3 alien characters are in actually relationship to where they would be in if you looked at the Action comic book, from its angle.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very cool. Very, very cool.
And I'm going to be pulling the same kind of gag on the second book. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but there's going to be a similar kind of gag. And in terms of the level of detail, that dinosaur that looks like a gag of Doctor Strange, that's the level of detail, and that's just a panel.
Cool. Very cool, man.
God, how long did it take you to make this first issue? Or is this issue 2 that we're looking at?
Oh, this is issue 1. I'm showing you that the level of work that issue 1 is, the same level of work will go into issue 2, if not more.
Cool deal.
For all the characters in issue 1, in issue 2 there'll be half the characters because the story will be a little more personal, a little more action, fast-paced. So as quickly as you're reading the book, every page is a minute. So if you think you can finish the book in 120 minutes, you're literally reading the story in real time.
Cool. And now I'm taking a look at how you use the 3D. You incorporate it into the book here. That's very cool, man. Do you use like a ray trace on this, or?
Oh, that's done in Maya.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Cool deal, man. Because I know you do a lot of, like I said, I know you showed Antonio that DeLorean model. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was.
And how it's completely rigged up so that, like, everything folds out, and so that's the way to do it, man.
Go back down, and you'll see the difference between realistic render and cartoon render at the bottom.
Yeah,
right there.
Yep, that's cool. So that's what it looks like if you were just using
if it was in
system.
a motion picture.
Very cool.
Compared to what it looks like in the comic book.
Sweet.
And the giant white robot there and the robot above are actual splash pages of stories that are yet to come.
Cool. Very cool, man. Very cool, sir.
This is really cool insight on this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, I've been telling George I wanted to pick his brain on some of this stuff for a while because.
Well, yeah, go back to the page where the purchase site is, and go down to the bottom. Okay, right there you go. There's some panels, right? But if you go further, sure, dear. Excuse me, guys. Okay, if you go down a little further down, right there, some of the pages are 15 panels on a page.
Good God.
It's like some Alan Moore stuff right there.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say like that. Some Alan Moore, or some Jeff Johns, man.
Yeah, these books. I take my cues off of Asterix and Tintin books.
Okay, yeah, Asterix the Gaul, yeah.
Yeah, you know how they had a lot. They were solid. They were 48 to 60 page solid books,
mm-hmm.
And the old school storytelling. You're forget about the splash page, all that stuff. You just get the story moving and keep moving. Well, this is like double those books.
Cool.
Double of Asterix and triple of Tintin. Packed.
And then we got some trading cards here. I like how you've got some of the characters are like rendered realistically. It's not everybody's not the cartoon style that Joe is.
Yeah, that's the gag. There's There's a lot of serious stuff in this book in terms of the science and whatnot, the humor too, but the visuals go between photography and cartoon, but I marry it together with the posterizing effect. So it kind of levels everything out.
I like the teddy bear one. That's
awesome. Yeah, I was just looking at that. That's awesome. Cool, man. Do you have for this new project? What's your launch date, man? Do you have one in mind, or are you just playing it by ear right now?
No. As soon as the last all the stuff is in the mail, going to the backers.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the last book I get confirmed somehow, some way that the last package is in the last backer sand, next day I'm launching.
Awesome.
I mean, you reacted to, I think it was like backer number 4, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now who posted the binder.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. So every package that I send out, that's not. It will be in a binder.
Very cool. Very cool.
Binder acts as the rigid protection, but it also holds the book. It also holds the original art and the trading cards, all in a nice little package.
cool.
Sweet. Well, all right, man. Well, oh crap! I hit the wrong thing. Oh no!
Oh, and if anyone wants to get the digital download, they can. And if they want, after the digital download, they thought it was really cool and they want to get the book itself, I'll discount the book. So it'll be $10 less, knowing that you already purchased the digital download. Oh yeah, and there's a 40-minute cartoon there.
Yeah, I saw that.
40-minute cartoon? Wow.
40 minutes. Damn. All right. Let me go ahead and get back to the sales page, and I'll drop the link there. Copy that. So Red Gaze, dude. Red Gaze is in the house.
Oh shit! Red Gaze is here.
Oh my god, business is about to pick up.
Time for the gaze community.
Oh my god. Paste there. There's the StreamYard link if you want to come in here, man. No pressure, but holy crap.
Has Gaze streamed with you before? I know.
Dude, I've barely streamed with anybody. This is like you. This is you guys are two of the biggest people I've ever had in here. So, and but this is what I want to do more of. Is this kind of thing, man?
Shucks.
Oh yeah, you guys. But anyway, guys,
I'm like a no-name in comics, so.
Dude, I have 170 subs. Shut the hell up. Okay.
Yeah, I actually saw that. I went to your channel to pull this up on my computer. I'm like, how the hell is he still this slow? Like he's saying nothing 20 and stuff.
I think part of the problem is that I've flip-flopped back and forth on what kind of content we put on here, but we're gonna fix that this year. We're heading upward and onward this year.
Trump train, baby. 2020.
There you go. But anyway, I dropped the link to the digital download for anybody who watches this later. Go out here and check out Peter's stuff, man. This is George's stuff. I'm sorry. That's
okay. 2 Hail Marys and a couple of reading pages off the book. That'll do.
But check out Joe King, guys, and when the second book launches, check that out as well. All right, Angus.
Yeah, what's up, man?
It's your turn, sir. Let's throw it over to you. I want you to talk a little bit more about Meth Gator. Like, give us an idea of like a little bit of the story. I don't want you to give away too much of anything, but like, what are your plans? Oh hell! Here we go.
Oh no, Daddy!
I wish to God Frank was here, man, because Tom and me, our buddy Frank, he is the Star Wars guy. I would love to see you two face off, man.
I'm not here for any of that today.
It's like, whoa.
It's a
Let me
day
look
off.
at Gray order now.
Take it back.
Gray, I'm sorry.
There's people here who are creating stuff. I'm an independent author too. I like supporting people who are creative. That's
And tell you what, man, you got any questions for George, man? Jump in here and throw it down, man. I want to hear it.
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have any questions. You expect much of me to be prepared or something.
But I dig the toy collection back there, man. I'm trying to place more on my wall back here.
Yeah, I had to make it a green screen because it fell on me.
Did you really?
I mean, that's real. I do have that behind the green screen. I took a picture of it and made it a green screen because that wall fell on me. So I made it a green screen. Yeah, I can't.
God, you are a pack of lies.
I mean, it is real. It's back there. It's back there.
I don't know what to think is real anymore.
You smell like beef and cheese.
Well,
Step into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
it is back there. It is real. It's just I don't want to fall into my head. The book's real, though.
Pride.
No problem, man. How are you doing today, brother? What'd you get there? Was that Moon Knight? What is that?
No, that's my book.
Oh, your book.
Yeah, my fantasy novel.
Well, hey, man, give us the pitch. Throw your book out, man.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I had a Kickstarter that I ran in November. It's over now. It ran and it was successful. It was all about, getting it. I had the book already written, so I wasn't running like a crowdfund to fund the book. It was already written. It was more or less to get the word out and maybe fund little extra things like the collector box and the stuff that comes with it and everything like that. But it's a fantasy novel, high fantasy. So if you like stuff like Tolkien, George R. R. Martin, Dragonlance, Dungeons and Dragons stuff. It's
you just got me, man.
Yeah, it's along that kind of vein. I've still been trying to do an elevator pitch because I'm not good at elevator pitches because they end up being way longer than 8 seconds. But basically, it's a master mage, archmage, and his protege traveling through the realms on the brink of war, trying to stop a god from usurping the pantheon of gods, and a prophecy is involved as well. So that's the 8-second elevator pitch, I guess, if you will. Still got to work on that. But yeah, it was successful on the Kickstarter. And it releases on February 22nd, and it's up on Amazon now for pre-sales. So
what's the title again?
Souls of Magic's Dawn. It's the book 1 in a series of the Covenant of Souls.
Nice. How many pages?
It is about 370 pages, 104,000 words.
Excellent. How many sentences on a page?
I don't know how many sentences on a page. Can't tell you that much. 104,000 words, buddy. That's okay. There you go.
Where are the pictures?
The pictures are in the Kickstarter only appendix.
Why are you here?
He wants to hear because I did draw something. By the way. I made my own alphabet and runes. Okay.
So you say you had like 40,000 words?
Yeah. It's for the adults in the room.
So
everybody's like, they're putting us to sleep.
It's for the big people.
Wait a minute. A picture worth 1,000 words. So
I did draw the
40 pictures?
Oh, cool map, dude.
I drew that, and my son enhanced it.
That's pretty.
Ooh,
I did
just gave me an idea, Lunga.
What's that?
I'll have to do like EVS with the interior sketch cover. I'll have to guarantee like a rainbow dong tier.
Anyway, but I dropped the link in the chat there, man. So all seven of the people that are going to watch this video will actually know where your book is.
Yeah, and on the 22nd, I'm having a launch party at a friend of mine, Carmelo, who owns a comic shop. It's either his comic shop or his friend's comic shop on the south side of Chicago here. I'm having a launch party there, and I'm actually going to be running a live stream all day while I'm there.
Sweet.
So I want to talk about it. I'm going to put it out. So I just want to have as many people as I can coming in and out, just having fun at the launch party.
Awesome.
And
you can have it catered.
I'll probably order some pizza.
I'm there. I want all the pepperoni.
But yeah, it's going to be there. If anyone's in the vicinity of Chicago, definitely welcome. I'm going to put out the address and everything when it comes up. When we have
Cool,
the mail.
man.
This is like Trump Central, man. You got 2020 with Bob going to change things. We got Lunga going to MAGA country for his debut. I'm loving it.
Sweet. But, cool, man. I'm gonna have to check out your book.
MAGA country.
I don't suppose your book is on Audible, is it?
I wish it was. I was actually considering maybe running a crowdfunding campaign to make the audiobook.
You know Doomcock. If you know Geeks and Gamers Nerdrotic, he does nice voiceovers.
Yeah, I've heard his voiceover, but I don't want him doing my voiceover.
It's like, yeah, no.
But I did see him on Mary's show. He has a crooner's voice, though. So
that's cool, man. That's very cool. But yeah, I'll have to check your book out, man. I'm a big I'm actually running the Dungeons and Dragons game right now for Tom and a bunch of my friends. So,
well, I mean, are you familiar? So I'm assuming you're familiar with Dragonlance then.
Oh yeah.
That was Dragonlance was the first fantasy book I ever read when I was a kid. That was my introduction, and one of my main characters in his book, Azrael, he's inspired by Raceland.
Sweet.
That's.
Yeah, Angus is over here going, I don't know any of you assholes are talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not as cultured as y'all. You know, I'm a simple man. I like
stick around, English. We'll teach you all about the nerd ways.
Yeah. Angus is a bit of a nerd, not a nerd noob.
Yeah, It's honestly, it's just
I had a life and I got laid and I had kids.
Hold on, so did I. Three kids, all over 21.
My excuse legitimately is just a lot of things were the devil when I was a kid, and so even though we became Catholic, my mom saw Lord of the Rings, and the scene she saw was the Balrog. So it's like the devil. And despite Tolkien being a huge Catholic kind of outskirt theologian, if not really invested, influencing C.S. Lewis and all that. So mom's not the sharpest tool to draw some of that stuff.
Brother, you're not to be coy, but you're preaching to the choir, man. I can tell you some shit.
The Christians killed the Golden Compass movie when it came out.
Yeah,
they said it was,
I remember that controversy. I still haven't seen that movie.
Now they hit on HBO now. His Dark Materials.
Is it a movie or is it a series?
Series. It's really good.
That's what I thought. They made it into a series, and it's actually closer to the book than it was when the movie was.
Yes, it's really good. McAvoy plays Lord Asriel.
Yeah,
James McAvoy.
Wow, McAvoy's in it. Now I gotta check it out.
Hey, what's up, oh my God, Biden's touches in here. Everybody run.
I just saw he touched a potential voter today. He called him a Bernie voter. That was just a funny thing I saw on Twitter.
Dude, don't worry about it. Given Biden's memory, he'll probably forget it seconds later.
When your eye explodes, your body's telling you, don't run. You'll die. Do you guys remember that? When his eye filled up with blood? Joe Biden, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Dude, he was at a rally and literally his eye just started turning red. Literally he started bleeding into his freaking eyeball. And I'm like, dude, you're 1 billion years old. Go home. You're done. You're like, if you move too fast, you'll just explode into dust. Anyway, but cool deal, man. All right, Angus, I'm putting you on the spot, brother. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna do you first. I'm gonna ask you some questions because I ask everybody that I do these interviews with.
Yeah.
You told us about your project. You told us about your channel. What got you into comics, man? I know you're very new, but what pulled you in, brother? What made you one of us?
Well, it was Caesar, because this is a funny thing. I was telling this when I hopped on stream and he had like the open format a few weeks ago. I met Jeff Hicks in person on 4th of July last year with Milestone. Looking back, it's like the chemistry I was picking up it makes sense now. Looking back, but this is before they disclose things. But one of the funny things in the interaction in person was I was like, because of you. That's we're talking about EVS. Someone's like, yeah, I found him because of you. And at first, I was like, who's this old geezer just like, griping at his computer? He was very like boring when he started. He didn't. The people hitting at him built his charisma. But yeah, like I just followed him, and then your boy Zach was doing Jawbreakers, and I just I got sold on the idea. It was very much complimentary to Fandom Menace. So it was that. Knowing he did Green Lantern, so I looked into Green Lanterns. That he did the first couple issues before he left officially. That's cool. I'm trying to think what else. I've always liked Batman, so it's cool to read a few Batman stories. Read Superman for All Seasons because of reading Long Halloween, the same author artist team.
Tim Sal,
Jeff Loeb.
Yep.
Amazing. Superman for All Seasons. That's a comic I loved reviewing it. The first season made me cry. How they wrote it so well. They wrote the father perception. So comics can touch you as a medium, just like film. Although there's
as opposed to Biden.
It's very limited, but it's just like little things here and there. Like I'm reading Immortal Hulk right now because Hulk's very pertinent to what. That's
a good run. The first
trying to pull things creatively in my head for inspiration, but not copying, because Meth Gator's kind of a Hulk character. As far as he benefits from a power, but a power kind of controls him. So there's that duality. And I like what they're doing, this kind of horror aspect, this supernatural aspect. But yeah, it's just a lot of little things, a lot of Comicsgate, and then you find another channel, and then they're reading this, Ro does Gogor. And then I look into Gogor, which is a pretty solid book, besides little jokes he had at it. Things like that. It's just, slow progression. I just went today. I got, Age of Chaos written Sony because I love Purgatory, and she's on the cover. Yeah, actually, as of going to officially going to a comic store, first time I can remember was Kentucky after deployment. I got Spawn 242 or something, and I had no idea it's a continuous there's 241. It didn't dawn on me, so I was totally out of the loop. So I'm slowly trying to collect Spawn. I haven't read hardly any of them because it's I start and then I just get sidetracked with movies or something. So I've read
the where I was at 15.
Yeah. What's that?
So you're basically where I was at 15.
Yeah. I'm stuck at issue 13 because I get distracted when the volume shift. But yeah, there was that. And then when I first met my wife, I come up to where she lives, and the comic store I was looking through, I saw Punisher, this is familiar, and then I saw Purgatory. And the way they spell it with an I, I'm that's because I was still Catholic at the time. So that name stuck out like a sore thumb. Just as it's calling to me. And then I pull up, and it's a lesbian vampire goddess. It's that is awesome all around.
You're talking about the original Purgatory from Chaos Comics?
Yeah, the original. And then, of course, I didn't know that they were already sold Dynamite or bankrupt or whatever. But not long after, they did the relaunch, Alice Cooper relaunch or whatever, all that tie-in stuff, which is all right. It was okay, kind of just get you fancy. But this first issue, actually, I did a review on my channel today. It's kind of cool. It's simple. There's a MacGuffin, and then you get to meet all these resurgent characters from Chaos. So it's fun stuff. So yeah, but it's just a lot of random things. I read the first chapter of Wenger's Comicsgate Project Superhero. So I just been all over the place. And I really like the medium. But like I said, I'm not a comics channel. So when I do a comics video, no one watches, it's I don't do this for money. That's what people don't get. Yeah.
You'll get it though, man. I dig that you're doing that. You're just getting into comics. I wish, because I remember it's every nerd's I remember the day I first picked up my first comic, my first X-Men book. It touched me so, it's. But cool, man. And I tell you what, man, I gotta give you some suggestions of some book to pick up. One since you like that Superman book, man, you gotta read Red Sun.
Yeah, Red Sun. I actually, when the rumors for Ray was Shmi, I actually compared that theory and the effect on the saga. If that was true, I was kind of hoping it was, because I was like, this is like Red Sun. It's a fucking circle. That's cool. That's a awesome way to. So you already did the World Between Worlds. This would be a perfect way of like encircling and maybe making people like the sequel trilogy a bit, because it's directly affecting the prequels. And I'm a prequel kid. That would have been a great way to circle it, and just make it maybe more unifying. I think they tried that with Palpatine. People just want to bitch, though. Although I was talking about that today, and I didn't think about this at the time, but I don't think there was a Sauron, physical thing that he put himself in. That would have, I think, made people buy into it if he had a one ring to rule them all, kind of preserving his essence. I think that would have helped the story.
We're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
But yeah, I read. I haven't kept up a lot, but I really liked the first few issues of Invincible. That was a great suggestion.
Invincible is a great book, man. I love that book, and I'll tell you what. If you ever get a chance to, you can get the trade paperbacks, but Weldon's Punchline book. That's a good one to get into as well.
Punchline.
Cool deal, man.
Can I tell you a couple I've been reading besides Marvel Hulk? I love House of M and leading into that Messiah complex. Mm-hmm. And then just recently I read Civil War, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm amazed at how faithful the tone and stuff they kept with the film from the comic, given there's no characters to work with compared to the book,
as long as you have those two core characters, as long as you have Captain America and Iron Man, you can do that story. And obviously it's going to be different, but you got to get into the core of what they're doing and why they're doing it. The only, obviously you can't go all the way into it because it's only a 2.5 hour movie. Because if they did that, the damn thing would be 8 hours long. But that's the Civil War was a really great story because it showed how, even though you start with good intentions, you could eventually get to the point where you're doing bad things. And that's kind of what happened with Tony. He fully believed what he was saying. But as the story went on, it started to shift from doing the right thing to proving he was right.
Yeah, when I hear people cry about Marvel movies, which I get, if you like DC stuff more, like the Snyderverse, which I'm a fan of, I like that kind of equally, where it's I can get the fun, friendly, family stuff that pushes the edge a little bit here and there, but it's all about continuity. And then I like the DC Snyderverse, where it's dark and gritty and deconstructionist and stuff. But despite the kind of average villains they have, they have dynamic characters, and I love how faithful they're able to make. From the more comics I read, especially in Marvel, the more I'm in awe of what they've done to bring it to the silver screen. Yeah,
it's impressive. I mean, I granted it is very formulaic, but it's a formula that works. Yeah. So okay, real quick here. So you're talking about obviously you're a first time creator. So what are you taking inspiration from, man, for Meth Gator? You said you're taking it kind of from the Hulk, Swamp Thing.
No, I've never read Swamp Thing.
You never? Oh God!
I plan to. He's
correct
on my
this.
Fix this now.
Fix this now, Ethan. But you said Ghost Rider and characters like that. So let me ask you a question, man. If you could work with any creator, what would your dream team be? What would your dream project be? What would your dream team be?
Dream artist. If I could get Art Germ to do a whole comic.
Oh my God.
Not just the cover, but just the whole thing, or someone realistic. Sejic.
Stefan Sejic.
I love what he does. He has very blend of more quick paced comic art with just there's a sex appeal, just everything. He's like that dude in what is it? Dinner for Schmucks? Is that it? With Carell?
Dinner.
That guy who's sexy sex. That's what I feel when I read Sejic. It's just this dude can't help himself.
He's really, the thing about it is Sejic is really good at expressions, facial expressions, but he's also got a crazy good sense of humor. If you ever go to his DeviantArt site, he has all these he'll do these, he just for fun, he does these little skits, these little like comic strips. And one of them was like, for instance, one of them was it was the first time Lois Lane and Clark Kent had sex. And they're being all like, "Oh, yeah, take it off, baby." And then he takes off his pants. She's like, "Oh my God, what the hell is that?"
Alien.
He's like, my penis." She goes, "Why does it have pinchers?" And then underneath there's a little board that says, "And this is when Lois remembered that Clark is an alien."
I've seen that. I remember I first got married, and I was trying to like, my wife said, "Oh yeah, my family's wacky and this and that." She's got sisters, and then like her, dad. And so I was like, "Ha! I found this," and I sent them that, and they're just like, they didn't respond. I'm like, "Oh, your family made me feel weird," but like my father-in-law, and this is how they grew up, so I thought it'd be fine. My father-in-law, I guess when they were in high school, he wore to like a PTA or a ball game or some shit, a shirt that said, "I'd rather be masturbating." So I figured they would be desensitized to like this
God
joke about Superman's alien dong.
But then there's like another one where it was the different seasons, and like it's fall and Poison Ivy's stuff is all falling off, and then you see Batman, it's summer, like, "I am the night, the sweaty night." But Cedric's awesome, man. I love his book. And have you checked out Death Vigil?
Death Vigil? No, I've read a little bit of Sunstone.
Yeah. Death Vigil was his. It was more of a traditional comic, but it was basically the main character is Death. It's the character, but she doesn't know what her name is, so they just call her Bernice. It's one of those things. It's like a Lovecraftian horror story mixed with Stefan Sedgwick's, that type of humor, Stefan Sedgwick's humor.
That sounds cool.
You've got like this the one character's name is the Digger, and they all have, they're like servants to Death, and they all get like some kind of tool that represents their life, and he gets a freaking pickaxe. He's like, "What the hell is this?" He used to be like a metal rocker. He's like, "What the hell is this?" But one of the things that he does with this pick is that he can actually rip a hole in dimensions, and he pulls this Viking ship out. And this Viking ship is crewed by all these dead Vikings. They're like, so he's fighting this guy, this warlock, and he's like, "Oh, you're I have you." He goes, "Yeah, hold on a second." Rip. And he pulls him out, and they're going, "Hey, boss, what's up?" He's like, "Yeah, go kill that guy." Dude, it's a really cool book. He's actually getting ready to crowdfund his second story in that book of that series. So, but yeah, I dig stuff. But man, if you tried to do an entire book with Art Germ, yeah, you're gonna be paying. You'll never make money off the book.
Hey, it's Dream Team, and then
I get it, man. But it's like, damn, that's pretty heavy dream
for writer. I mean, I have limited knowledge, but I guess I'd go Millar. Mark Millar. He seems, pretty solid. His perception and stuff. A traditional artist, I guess, aside from the sexy Art Germer or Sedgwick. One who does have that sex appeal also has just like really good attention to detail. Michael Turner.
Man.
Joseph Scott Campbell. That's half of me getting comics. Like, I'm missing stuff here and there, but like I read Shattered Empire and I started reading Darth Vader when episode 7 was coming out. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't get with it because having a child like that, spending anything full price is like killing me, at the time. But where I'm at now, it's like I'll go to the comic store. I might buy like a single issue of different stories in the dollar pool, or maybe an issue or two here new that just look amazing, and or I'll just take a picture of it and then I'll go online, free sites, and read it because I don't have the money for it. We were talking about that earlier. I don't, as someone who wants to make something, it's like, I want everyone to pay for it, but I also am understanding too. So it's like,
if you're poor, you're poor,
I would
man.
be supporting them,
Yeah. If you're poor, you're poor.
And I go to the library a lot. Another great one to read, 3-volume series is Sweet Tooth by Jeff Lemire. I don't know a lot of his stuff. I know he wrote Moon Knight. I've only read his like weird indie stuff, and he's amazing.
Weird indie stuff is Tom's thing.
Yeah, it's.
I'd say Sweet Tooth. That's the kid with the antlers.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, okay.
it's like Mad Max meets like Men in Black or something. It's odd. There's not a lot of like the weird cop investigating stuff, but it's something I can kind of pull from. Like it's odd, almost alien kind of little details, you know.
Cool.
So there's a lot of just random stuff I've read. You know, the libraries. I always tell people, you know, you can just journey with me as a new comic reader on my channel. But 2, go to your library, read the stuff for free. They got volumes of a lot of new stuff they get, but just if you search their archive, you can request stuff across your state and read it for free.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things that I kind of like hanging out with you, man. It's like you're this baby comic book fan, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to infect you with so much bad things.
Yeah, I sent you a few pictures. These are none of them are colored. I'm waiting to complete funding to the artist, the other 2. But these are going to be the posters I'm running with on the campaign once I go live with it. If you want to show those.
Well, I actually got something I can show you for a second here.
Oh, his face. There you go.
This is the beginning of the line art for your. I'm doing a piece for your Meth Gator boy.
Oh my god! I remember you hit me up about something. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna draw me something, isn't he?
Yeah, and
I'm excited, man.
I got it. I gotta like take these into the computer, but I got a sketch of his head.
Oh my god!
He looks like I did that. And I was like, oh shit, he looks like Godzilla. And then I looked at
No, that's amazing, dude. Dude, both artists I got, I sent like I have an album on my photo app on my phone, and it's Meth Gator, and so some of it is the references, and yeah, I got like baby gators because even though they don't have the definition, baby gators have a better look for drawing a smaller snout, and Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla 2014, those are some of the references. I'm like, hey, we need to keep his snout contained because yeah, he's a gator, but I want it to be plausible that he can like disguise himself mostly, in a hoodie, not be like
and that was actually when I first did, I was like, oh shit, he looks like Godzilla. And then I looked at the reference art you put up and was like, yeah, he does look like Godzilla, so I guess I'm okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. I see him, I'm like, yes. Oh, you get it.
I'll finish it one day.
You can't stop the snout. You only can hope to contain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is like I was thinking is like there's was it Leatherback or whatever from TMNT?
Yeah, I actually looked up some pictures of it for that. That's like I thought first that's what you wanted. Like I was thinking, should I put like some overalls over him when I start doing clothes and stuff? And
yeah, well, like I was looking into like crocodilian characters just so I knew like kind of reference, but doing something different from that. And so I found out that
have you looked into DC's Killer Croc?
I was about to say that. So
yeah,
one of the references I've given artists for kind of vibe is this one take on Killer Croc, the Joker's Asylum. These like tangent stories from I guess the Arkham Asylum series or whatever.
Look at Darth down there vaping.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, I saw that.
I'm too cool to be here.
I love that one shot story, but I love the art style. It's like it's gritty enough, and there's the detail of like him regenerating, where it's like I don't think I want to bring that to Meth Gator, but that's something I didn't think of. It's cool, and it's an example to see. So,
cool.
That's the biggest challenge for me is like writing this kind of Hulk-esque character as far as like that duality or like Venom, but actually
you don't want him to be too powerful.
I want him more like Captain America, where it's like, yeah, he's got super serum, but really he can't really take on too many people by himself.
Yeah, and that's if your character gets too powerful, they get boring anyway. So, but cool deal, man. All right, George, I'm gonna throw some of these questions at you, sir. Wake up.
Cool. Oh, what
George is
was
over here going, huh? What?
What?
Oh, I'm still here.
Not enough pictures. Too much talking.
Yeah.
that?
All right, George. You've been around for a long time, man. What got you into comics, brother?
Back in the early days, I don't know, around 5-6 years old, I think it was. I was at a variety store, and I saw 1 Million BC by Joe Kubert.
Oh, wow.
I picked it up. Well, actually, my mom picked it up for me, and that got me into comics. Fast forward to 2012, on my last combo convention here in Toronto, Fan Expo. I didn't know it, but I was walking by, and there was Joe Kubert. I became a babbling idiot. I grabbed his attention because he wasn't at a table. I shook his hand and said, "Sir, I'd like to thank you. Your book, 1 Million BC, is what got me to love comic books. I'm so very grateful. I'm doing my own comic books," and I was in tears. I was literally crying in front of him. There was nobody around us at the time, and he was such a warm, pleasant man. It was incredible. He grabbed my hand. I shook it back. He said, "That's so wonderful. Thank you for saying. It's a real pleasure to meet you. I hope you do some wonderful things." And I left. I went back to my booth. I sat down. My daughter was with me, but she didn't know who he was or appreciate who he was. And then somebody came by. One of my friends said, "Well, what's up? Why are you so down?" I said, "I just met Joe Kubert." And their face had just dropped. Where? That was falling in love with comic books.
Sweet.
Why I started publishing my own books and never actually went for the big two or anything like that is because at the time I was managing a service bureau, doing paper and film outputs and stuff like that, handling thousands of files a week from clients and stuff like that. Yeah, I knew this stuff in and out, in graphic design and print. And I saw that they came out with the world's first computer-generated comic book called Shatter back in 1985. And then Marvel and DC said, "Oh no, we're doing computer-generated comic books: Batman, Digital Justice, Iron Man, Crash." I looked at the stuff; it wasn't computer-generated. All they did was just scan stuff in and push pixels around. So I got really pissed. So I actually came out with my first book in September 1990 called The Black Diamond Effect. All the books are titled The Black Diamond Effect. Then I just throw a title like Joe King onto it as a title, a subtitle. And I said to the entire world, this is a true 100% computer generated book. It's all done in vector, not bitmap. It's all done in Illustrator, all sine curves, and no pixelization.
Cool.
And if there is any pixelization, it's still done in Illustrator. It's just it looks like it. And since then, I put out 20 books.
Wow.
Joe King premiered in issue 8 back in 1998 as a gag, as a joke to Todd McFarlane, and him swinging on a rope in a contortionist way. Whenever anybody sees that particular splash page from issue 8, they go, "Yeah, you're making fun of McFarlane. No ifs, ands, or buts."
Yeah, Todd had a tendency to kind of bend them in ways that are impossible, even for comic book characters. But that was part of what made it cool, man. That's part of what made Todd cool. Everything was just crazy action in every page.
Yeah.
Mommy, where's his organs?
Shut up.
And those are the two ways I got into books. And since then, I just continued doing the book in vector format. Originally, I think a lot of you may appreciate this. The tablets and the screen pen tablets and all that stuff. It didn't exist back then. I mean, it did, but it was very expensive. So what I ended up doing was I drilled a hole in the mouse that I had. I put a pencil through it, And as long as I kept the mouse at a perfect 90-degree angle to the screen, I'd be able to move the mouse around and draw.
Wow.
Just as long as you keep the mouse in the perfect angle.
That's some homebrew shit right there, man. Damn.
Yeah.
But cool, man. And actually, you kind of answered this question already, but what creators are your inspiration? You threw out Joe Kubert there, man, and he's definitely one of the greats.
Yeah, Joe Kubert. The other person that really changed my mind was John Byrne.
John Byrne, yeah.
When I looked at his work, he was the first and only person that I saw that actually drew with structure. Doesn't matter what he drew. There was always structure in his artwork.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And the other person was Dave Sim for self-publishing. He was just a hero to everybody who was self-publishing in the 80s. But it was a barometer. You looked at him doing self-publishing, and then you look at Steve Bessett, and was it Captain? Was it the Flaming Carrot guy?
Mm-hmm.
The Badger.
The Badger, man, that's a memory down. That's a stroll down memory lane right there.
And what about the guy that the tragic hero that was it the Raven? No.
Oh, you're talking about the Crow.
Crow. That's
James O'Barr.
Yeah, James O'Barr. His tragic stories that he translated into a book. Of course, the Turtles guys. I'm looking at all these guys. It's like, the system exists. You can do it. But,
I mean, it's easier now than it's ever been.
Well, it is because I appreciate it a lot more right now. Because back in the '90s, when I was doing my book, I mean, we were. It's not talked about a lot, but the independents were literally fighting Marvel and mostly Marvel in terms of getting their books distributed, because Marvel would make deals with the distributors and say, you know what, we'll give you extra books if you give us favor over the independents. So I know this because it happened to me directly. And when I didn't know it was happening, but after a while, as an example, I put a full page. I bought a full page cover and one of the distributors, not Diamond. And when the order came in, there was an order of one book for that region. That's when I called bullshit on it, and that's when I called around, talked to other independent publishers, and they told me the story where the Marvel and DC, mostly Marvel, would be making deals and saying, you know what, give us favor over the independents, just push the independents back and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was
crazy.
The 500-pound gorilla, man. That's what Marvel's always been.
That's right. And one way of me getting my stuff out was to give people a copy on a 700K floppy. in the gift form.
The old little, my God, man, I remember those things.
The whole book. I gave away the whole book, every book up until 2000, and then I just gave PDF links. For Joe King here, the first full 120-page book. This is my first 120-page book. Every other book was either 32 or 20 pages, 22 pages. I said, okay, for Joe King, for the first 120-page book, I'll hand out the digital. But the next book, there's no digital. It's just the printed book. I want to get people excited to appreciate what I'm trying to tell them. Because when I was pushing a year ago, when I was pushing Joe King, no one understood what I was telling them. They had no frame of reference, because Joe King in itself doesn't exist. It never existed the way the reading experience is. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing been like this in comics, and that's what I'm all about. It's innovation, finding something that hasn't been done, techniques that haven't been explored, reading experiences that haven't been touched upon in combination sort of ways. You read Joe King, 120 pages. It's like like I said, 2 Asterix books or 3 Tintin books, but there's gags in there that you literally have to puzzle.
Cool deal.
And the reading experience, you're every time you come back, you're reading it in a different manner, in a different way, and that's what keeps the reader engaged. And of course, there's the humor, the subtlety and the humor that I have there are gross and acute. In some places where I make fun of the Incredible Hulk issue 1, it's obvious. In other places, I make fun of the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin. So I have a little appendix at the back, telling you. I actually
Here's all the Easter eggs.
That's right. That's right. The obvious Easter eggs. There's other Easter eggs that I don't even talk about, the visual gags, that if you start to piece them together, you'll go, oh, wait a minute. Something on page 1 matches with something on page 33, and that actually rolls into page 95. It's very involved.
That's cool, man.
And that's what I've been doing. Is every book that I've been putting together, it's multiple layers of narratives,
Awesome.
all working in synchronicity.
So, considering that you're trying to do some experimental stuff here, what would be your dream project, man? What would be your dream team? Give me your crazy over the top. Like, if I could get this artist and this writer and do this.
I would hand John Byrne my script and just wait until he's done. That's it. It's that simple. Nothing more, nothing less.
John Byrne, and that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
It's a good one. I mean, it's John freaking Byrne, man.
I know. I mean, he's right up there with Kirby, Lee, and Ditko.
Yeah.
And Romita Sr., and of course the great Neil Adams, and of course Gil Kane. I should not forget Gil Kane, and Alex Raymond and Al Williamson. But if I saw him back in 2000s, so I think it was around the late 2000s. One person had like $20,000, handed it off to John, and John drew his book.
Wow. Back when 20 grand could get you friggin' John Byrne.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking, one day I would love to do that. I'd love to, have that cash and just say, Mr. Byrne, here's one of my stories.
Here's 100 G's. Get to work.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, cool. And then he'll say, "How do you want it?" I go, "I don't know how you're going to do this. Just you're the master."
Yeah, just here now. Go.
Yeah.
Go. All right, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Anybody got any questions? Anything you want to talk about? Darth, you've been sitting there very patiently, sir. Got anything you want to plug?
Listen, I'm just the guest. I just came in just to be a guest and just to listen. I mean, you put my book up there, so that was cool.
You got any videos coming up, man? You got any streams you getting ready to do?
Not this week. I mean, well, not in the next couple of days. I might do something Friday night. Sunday, I always do stuff. And Saturday, I don't have anything planned for the next couple of days. Mondays, I do Sci-Fi Mondays every Monday on my channel. And Sunday,
what are you doing that one then?
Sci-Fi Monday.
Yeah,
I go over just new sci-fi stuff coming out. The first one I did was 2 weeks ago, and I did on the new Dune movie coming out. Denis Villeneuve's treatment of Dune. And this past one I did on Picard.
I still haven't watched Picard yet, and everybody's telling me it's awful.
Here, okay, I'm not gonna claim to be a huge Trek. I'm not a Trekkie, but I'm familiar with Star Trek. I grew up with it. I watched a lot of it. I watched the original series, syndication when I was a kid. I watched Next Generation when it started. I watched all the movies, and all this stuff. I like Deep Space Nine. I like Voyager. I liked a lot of those stuff too, and all the TNG movies. I like the Kelvin timeline movies. So yeah. I mean, I've seen all those, so I'm fairly familiar with it. And I watched Picard, and I got to be honest with you. Now, I haven't read anyone else. I haven't read anyone else's reviews or watched any videos on it. Initially, I did that because I wanted to watch it fresh without any kind of anyone else's opinion in my head. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't see anything in there that was so egregious. You know what I mean? To say it's horrible. I mean, people. I did see people popping up on Twitter calling it dystopian, and it's not though. I mean, I could see how Discovery is dystopian. That I could see, but I don't see that with Picard. I mean, it's he's living this peaceful life, retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole point of it is because we know how Picard was. Picard would literally put everything aside to save lives. That's what Picard, in essence, that's what it was about. Risking his own life, his crew's life, whatever he can. If he could save people or in any situation, he'll do that. And he's retired because he got in an argument with. I don't know if you want any spoilers or not. Do you want me to not spoil it?
Oh, I'm good, dude. Go ahead. I've heard so many people have already spoiled it for me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it in perpetuity.
Yeah. The retired thing, I don't think was a spoiler. Everyone pretty much knew he's retired.
Right? Yeah.
But and basically through the series of events that happens, and it's a nice little tie-in directly to Nemesis because it goes right into Data's death, and this other synthetic appears, and he links it to where she looks like the painting of Data's daughter that he did. So he immediately links it and he figures it out, and then she explodes, but we find out there's no twin of her. But at any rate, he split with the Federation because he decided, first of all, he was going to save all these Romulans because there's a supernova. So he saves all the Romulans, and he had an issue with that. And then I guess these synthetics went haywire on Mars and killed 90,000 people. And the Federation did this hard line of no more synthetics, and he didn't believe in that because Data.
Yeah.
And that's why he had a split with the Federation, and he just walked away and retired. And after this thing happened with this new synthetic that's looks like Data's daughter, he realizes that he hasn't been living his life the way he's always wanted to, the way he always has. He's like, I've been sitting here waiting to die, and he knows that's not me. You know what I mean? So he goes out there to try to find this. At the end of the first episode, he's gonna determine now to find this other synthetic, the twin of her, to see what's going on with it. So it's kind of reignites his passions to save people. So I don't see anything dystopian about it.
I think the biggest complaint that I've heard from people, and I can get this, is it's not the perfect future that Gene Roddenberry envisioned for humans.
The future is perfect in Star Trek. There's always problems. I mean, that's the whole point.
But the problems are always they're not social issues and whatnot. A lot of people are saying that there's a lot of social issues that are bleeding into the Federation is like the world today. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't actually say if that's true or not.
I don't even know where that comes from. I mean,
Star Trek has always had social issues in it. I mean, within the Federation, social issues. I mean, even you go back to the original series,
the half-man,
the timeline. What? Yeah, the black and white. Well, I was thinking more.
Let this be your final battlefield.
All that stuff was external.
No. I think the point I'm making is the one about. And the timeline has kind of messed this up, but the woman that steals Kirk's body, because she can't be a captain because she's a woman. Now, of course, the timeline has changed, and there were women captain before them, but in the '60s, they were dealing with that, and that was definitely an internal issue there. With humanity might not be quite as progressive as.
Right. I mean, if we're going to split hairs upon, it's external, not in the Federation, I'm sure if I did a deep dive in episodes, I could find some stuff that was dealing with this Federation. I mean, you got to remember, the one thing that was Kirk was always butting heads with the Federation. Picard would also butt heads with the Federation on things. So, I mean, and they use the aliens as analogies for what happens here in a lot of episodes. Okay. But it's still there. And it's kind of splitting hairs to say, but it wasn't in the Federation because humans are perfect, which is obviously not true. But I don't see the social issues they're talking about in here. The main issue it's surrounding is that they outlawed synthetics, and that's the only thing I'm seeing. And that's what he's fighting against. And that's what he got so angry about is the outlawed synthetics, because he believed because of Data that there's a lot of promise with them and they can do great things. And that's what he's upset about. So I don't know where they see these social issues. And now, mind you, I'm not far, I'm not one that freaks out when I see SJW stuff in movies. But at the same time, I don't like Batwoman because the writing's bad. It's too on
the writing is awful.
Right. It's too on the nose. Okay? Now, you can see the similar kind of characters, like, for example, in Black Lightning on the CW. Okay. You have it's mostly people of color. The daughter is lesbian, but the show is so well written. I love Black Lightning. It's a really good show, and it has a lot of the same themes in it, but it's not on the nose like Batwoman. So it's just come down to bad writing. So, I mean, I can see certain things when I'm like, well, I don't like it because of this reason or that reason, but I didn't see any of that in Picard. So I don't know where people are getting it from. I mean, I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I just don't know where they're drawing it from.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't really attest because I haven't seen it yet. Dude, I haven't even watched The Witcher yet.
Yeah, same. I've watched like 20 minutes.
I'm like slacking, man. It's bad.
Yeah, you got to watch The Witcher. Really good.
But yeah, what I'll have to do I'll have to get caught up on this stuff, and then we'll bring Orville Nation and Speaker are saying that the show is okay, but it's not Gene's vision for several reasons. I'll have to watch it, and then we'll all just get together and talk about it.
Yeah, I love Speaker for the Dead. He's a hard sci-fi guy like Star Trek and The Expanse. I've watched
The Expanse is awesome,
and I'm like,
Expanse up there,
dude. You don't like The Expanse?
How do you not like The Expanse?
It seems well made. It's just not my forte. I'm just like,
wow, man. Really? I love that show, dude. It's freaking Game of Thrones in space.
That tackles a lot of social issues too, just in different ways. Where you have the Martians, the Earthlings, and the Outer Rim,
but it's done well.
Yeah,
no, it really is.
It's great writing. My two favorite sci-fi stuff on TV right now is The Expanse and Lost. I really like Lost in Space too.
I haven't seen season 2 of Lost in Space.
Good.
I gotta check it out.
It's a Lost in Space. Fun. It's really fun.
Yeah. Speaker of the Dead says I'm a Star Trek super fan, and I just can't see Gene in this new stuff. I'm a Star Trek super fan too, man. That's one of the reasons why I can't believe I haven't seen Picard yet.
Can I add something as an outsider?
Sure.
Star Trek. So for me, my experience with Star Trek is my mom watched Deep Space Nine. She really loved that show. I have the 10-disc Star Trek movie set, and I've seen the first 5. I really love them all. 4 is my favorite. I think Wrath of Khan is way overhyped.
You're stabbing me in the heart, bro.
Like it's a solid action movie, but like when I watch Star Trek, like the motion picture, yeah, it's boring, but it's got a great end. It's got a great like premise. It's just like they were kind of decade-old plus show trying to come into like a world post Jaws, and everything.
They were trying to push some high
yeah, it's like way over most people's heads,
high science fiction ideas, and it was a little too much for Star Trek.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. And so when I watch Wrath of Khan, I'm like, they're just trying to be Star Wars. They're trying to catch up. It's like watching DC, like BVS.
Okay, you got to watch. Did you watch the television episode it's based off of though?
No, I know it is a continuation of like a storyline from.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one.
You gotta
watch like 3 episodes of the original series, which I like.
Pause.
I like.
And it's Ricardo Montalban in both.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I know I'm a sinner. I'm a Star Wars guy though, and I'm like a fuck Trekkies or whatever. I used to joke like that, but I take things from everywhere. Star Trek's got its appeal. Star Wars has its appeal. I would say Star Trek is very much like real world kind of reflection.
Yeah,
and it's all about the people. Right. Star Wars is like metaphysical. It's about like the big grand scheme, good and bad.
I was just talking about that on my Sci-Fi Monday because they were asking me what's the difference between Star Wars. And I said almost the exact same thing. Star Trek is about it's a big character study on the people and everything like that.
Yeah, and I would say just like Star Wars has its own problems, and I compartmentalize Disney Star Wars as corporate sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
I think Star Trek, you've had that, I guess. Me not being invested with the JJ Kelvin or whatever verse timeline, everything. But I think right now, especially with Picard and whatever's happened with STD for fandom, you're having the problem of like they're trying to make legitimate Star Trek from my perspective, not knowing, not seeing, not really caring. After Gene Roddenberry, they're trying to do something, and it's like there's just someone saying I don't see Gene in this. And you have something like Ghostbusters, where everyone thinks this third film will have that spirit of original Ghostbusters, but ultimately the creator is gone. Just like Star Wars, the creator let it go, and so it's like, I don't know if you'll ever get that back. You got to just kind of roll with the punches, and maybe someone can hit that spark again, or maybe it's just always gone. So that's kind of, I think we hold on in certain ways too long, or just can't let things go
too tightly.
That's why I say it's splitting hairs. Because, like, as a big Star Wars fan, okay, I could at least, with Star Wars, I can respect the things people didn't like about what happened in the sequel trilogy. Because there's things that, obviously, I didn't like the treatment of Luke. I didn't like the departure from a lot of stuff that made Star Wars Star Wars. So I can respect that. But it's just like, there's so much anger about what people are doing with new stuff that I think is just bleeding over a little bit. Meaning, is there some stuff in Star Trek, maybe, or Picard that like Speaker of the Dead being hardcore Trekkie, doesn't appreciate? Yeah, there probably could be. I just don't think it's that as egregious, let's say, as what we saw in Star Wars. So I think sometimes the anger just bleeds over.
It's possible. And like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I can't really weigh on it too much. But I do know that I don't like Alex Kurtzman. I don't trust the guy. Discovery is a pile of dog shit.
I don't even want to watch it. I saw, just seeing what it was like, I'm like, no, this is
it's just and that's and as soon as they said they were gonna center the whole show around one character, I'm like, you're literally hamstringing yourself, because now you got to take.
It's always been an ensemble. You always have the whole crew.
And now that character, you have to make that character important to every freaking episode, every freaking part of the story, which means they're going to be overblown. They're going to be a Mary Sue. They're automatically going to be like that because you have to make them relevant to everything.
Even if you take the Mary Sue thing, like, who would want to watch The Next Generation if every episode was about Picard?
Yeah. Like some of the actually, I think
best stuff with Geordi is our great episodes, and Data are great episodes. Even the Dr. Crusher, when they have episodes where there's just a lot of good episodes involving all the cast, not
that's something too, I guess, on the outside, is like, what's my appeal of watching old man out of retirement Star Trek? Just, it's all about him. That, like, it's in the name Picard. It's about him.
He's putting a crew together.
Okay. So,
and like I said, I haven't seen it yet. They've released the whole season, right?
I don't think so.
Or are they doing the one episode a week thing?
It's one episode a week.
I don't. I'm not watching it on CBS. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm watching it through secondary means.
I have Disney Plus. I have subscription to Netflix. I have subscription to Hulu. I have fucking everything. Okay, CBS is where I draw the goddamn line. I'm not.
Dude, the best quote I've heard was from Shatner himself. They said, "Have you watched it?" He goes, "No." He's like, "Why?" He said, "Because I'm not buying CBS All Access."
How would that guy not get a legacy subscription?
I don't know, dude. But when Shatner tells you your service is bullshit.
Here's a code. Just get that's as egregious as apparently the voice of Darth Maul didn't get an opening night credit to go to the premiere or something. He helped make the character. It's just like
he was episode 1.
Yeah, Shatner is Star Trek. That he's the heart and soul. That's where it's the epicenter.
He is now, because most of them are dead.
I mean, it's just, to be fair, when you think about CBS, it's like, for the longest time, I mean, some of you, I'm assuming, are close to my age. Tom, at least, I know is my age or more.
Tom is an immortal robot that runs on human blood.
Okay, I mean, for the longest time, CBS has always been the redheaded stepchild of the three main networks. It's not like it was ever the shining star of networks. NBC and ABC were always better in just most stuff. You know what I mean? What the hell does CBS have to offer other than Star Trek right now?
It's nothing.
Exactly.
They tried the Twilight Zone, and
dude, it's just like with Disney Plus, man. As soon as The Mandalorian was over, 2/3 of the people canceled their subscription.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people.
There's still a lot of people, and there's still more content there. But I'm like, if that happened to Disney, what do you think is going to happen to CBS?
Yeah, well, CBS will lose it big time. Disney, I'll be honest with you, because it's like you got to think. The same thing happens with Netflix. There's people and HBO, for example. There's people that subscribe to HBO literally just for Game of Thrones. They would subscribe for those 2 months, 3 months at a time, and then drop it and then come back again. So it's not like it's a Star Wars thing. It's just it happens in all streaming services. Netflix, there'll be people that are fans of specific shows on Netflix and only get it during that time and then drop it again. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of Marvel fans, obviously, that are going to be on there still getting it. Disney itself, I mean, just the family aspect of it.
Well, that's the thing that Disney has over top of all the others. The other upstarts is they have such a freaking library.
Yep, and then they got all the Fox stuff too now. I mean, it's ridiculous. The Simpsons are all on.
It's stupid, man. I'm on there going like, I'm done with the Mandalorian. It's like, well, I'm going to start on Gargoyles now.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Gargoyles. I love that.
I love that freaking show, dude.
Dude, when I was a kid, my mom never lets me live this down because she doesn't get it. When I was a kid, apparently I told some guy in a store, like, you look like a gargoyle. And my mom says it like I was a brat about it. But I'm for sure I said this as like, you look like a gargoyle. Like, that's fucking bad. Like, this guy had to look like Goliath for me to say that. Because I love the gargoyles. But it didn't add it to my mom. But yeah, me and the gargoyles go way back.
I was when I first got it, I started watching Darkwing Duck again too. I loved me Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, I loved it.
It had a lot of DC parallels in there. Because Negaduck was like Reverse Flash basically, because there's a yellow and they had like their own Justice League going. I like Darkwing Duck.
Dude, I love that show, man. Bushroot was my favorite.
Bushroot,
yeah, because he's a villain, but he didn't really want to be a villain.
No,
like he's like, just can I be your friend? No, or then die.
Yeah, he was the first villain, the first episode.
Yeah,
was
Bushroot was the first one. But no, man, yeah, but that's the thing, man. With CBS All Access, there's nothing.
No,
like I'll probably pick it up to watch Picard, and then it'll be gone. Because there's literally nothing else. But I can't believe you're not into friggin' The Expanse. What the freaking hell is wrong with you?
I gave it 2 seasons. You know, it wasn't like I just watched one episode. I'm like,
the first season was so good.
Yeah, but this is the same guy who says he doesn't like the original Ghostbusters either. So I mean, let's just
burn in hell.
Like I gave it a chance because I started in the Phantom Menace and everything is rooted to the bullshitters, and they're all about like the 80s stuff. They talk about the Ghostbusters, and I'm like, all right, I'll give. I watched this just on the whim of things before at the library. Let me try it again. What did I miss? And so I'm like really attentive. I'm watching it, and I'm just like, what the fuck was like? I smirked when he had like the joke with the card on the college kid because he had the hots for the girl. I'm like, huh. And then the rest of me, I'm just like, what is wrong with people? They think this is funny. I'm just like,
what's wrong with you? Because you really don't watch Star Trek. You hate Ghostbusters. You don't really read any comic books, and you're making a comic book.
I'm getting heavy into comic books, my friend.
Yeah. Kingdom Come, man. You gotta read Kingdom Come.
A little bit. You put a dong on my lightsaber handle, okay? So I gotta poke you a little.
He's still salty.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what show would be your speed, Angus? Todd in the Book of Pure Evil. That would be your speed, man. Because Jason Mewes is a character in that show. He's the janitor. And he literally has a pair of dong nunchucks.
Oh my god, this sounds awesome! It's called.
It is actually really freaking funny.
It's Todd in the Book of Pure Evil.
Todd in the Book of Pure Evil.
And you have to love anything that has a scene where he is the janitor, like opens up one of the janitor closets, and the premise is there's a Book of Pure Evil, and being a Book of Pure Evil, it grants wishes, but the wishes always go wrong. Horribly wrong. But there's this kid in the closet, and he has the Book of Pure Evil, and he's reading it, and he looks at him, he's like, you already read it? He's like, yeah. He goes, okay. Hand me my blood mop. It's one behind you there. I'm going to do that later.
Dude, that's the one. Yeah, like the one episode that dude wishes that everybody was gay.
That's the same one.
But then what happens is it turns him straight.
No, what the wish is he wishes that everyone else knew what it was like to be gay. So the book makes everyone else gay, and then he's straight, and they kill the breeder.
Yeah. It's freaking. But the best is like Jason was like something happened. And Jason Mewes like holds up a book of gay porn and goes, "Well, I guess that explains this."
It sounds like War Campaign Weekly.
Dude, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Sounds awesome.
It was nice being here. I do got to go though. My girlfriend just came home.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for stopping by.
His girlfriend's
Lungo.
back, and there's going to be trouble.
Hey la, hey la.
His girlfriend's back.
Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Check out Darth Daddy Lunga's channel, guys. I tried to find the link for it, and I couldn't find it.
Great Council. That's his channel.
The Great Council. That's it. Check out the Great Council, guys.
Yeah, it's funny because he's the Great Council, but it's just him. And then he's part of the Great Order, which he is not the channel of the Great Order, but he's like the main venue thus far.
Yeah. But yeah, man. When we sign off, man, I'll have to shoot you some ideas for some comics to read.
Yeah. Hey, before you go, can you show those 3 posters I sent you? Those are what's going to be in the campaign
for 1 second here.
The poster campaign.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I'll pull it up. There you go. Cool deal. So we got the first one here. Actually, let me make that the full screen here. Oh, nope.
Not you.
Shut up. Like, oh God, why does it have skin? Okay, so we got this one. And then where'd it go? There it is. And we got there you go. That's good. Nice. I'll dig that, man.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I dig the veination on there, brother. That's gonna be me in that by the end of the year.
Yeah, the idea is that he smokes meth and it kind of like gets like a glow factor. Kind of, I guess I didn't think of this, but I think in Batman Robin doesn't Bane kind of get like glowy veins a little bit?
Depends on who's drawing him. Yeah, but like the venom will like cause his veins to like you'll see like green coming through him. Yeah,
so this was kind of me not even thinking, but yeah, that's like a detail I want to have that just kind of to distinguish when he's smoked meth to power up.
I love that he has to smoke meth. It's just goddamn. All right, next picture. There you go. Hello.
Okay.
There you go. Now you're talking. Now you're talking everybody's language. Get that inked up. Get that colored up, and make that your variant cover.
That's a very nice, well rendered.
Yep. Cool deal, man. Yeah, I'll have to get that thing. I'll have to get this thing done. I will endeavor to do so.
Crap. I didn't realize my mic was muted this whole time.
You're talking over top of this?
Yeah, because you're like cut in. I'm like, what a dick. No, I'm so.
Well,
sorry.
I am a dick, but go ahead, man.
So yeah, I guess you did hear the coloration or whatever. We're talking about Bane, so there wasn't a lot missed. But yeah. So no, go to the other one.
There you go,
girl. So this is his love interest, Shelby the hooker.
Nice.
Yeah,
Shelby the hooker.
Yeah. There's a whole joke I started with Man of Sex when I first came up with the idea, and so I was trying to figure out how to incorporate the joke to make it work because someone came up with it. Like I came up with the joke, but then someone came up with like a secondary joke with it, and I'm like, how do I incorporate this to give them credit? And so I got creative, and I'm like, oh, I'll just make her a hooker, and this can. It's a lot of me trying, like I'm very detail oriented, so I think like I don't want this to just be like happenstance. I don't want coincidence. Every story has some sort of coincidence where like, this person's storyline has them go to Walmart, and then this person they need to get a pregnancy test and go to Walmart, or something like that. So there's coincidence like that, but I don't want something where it's just like, yeah, it just happened, So I do a lot of detail writing like that. So
Cool.
the hooker aspect is pertinent to like meeting and progressing from that, but it's also pertinent to the initial joke.
And she's hot, so.
Yeah. So the first poster is Vic King. I haven't seen it, but he's told me there's going to be a surprise like secondary piece once he's sending with this. I will be getting it inked, and then Ori, the other artist of the other two pieces, he is going to ink and color along with having penciled these. I'm just slowly accruing the funds and throwing them $10-20 here and there when I can to.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I get this thing done. I'm doing for you, man. I'll make sure I get it sent out to you, and you can have that sucker for free.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that I already have someone doing like fan art for Meth Gator, and war campaigner Ryan Magus. He is the guy who made the logo. That's my
cool
Twitter image now.
Sweet.
I'm just waiting. That's like the promo logo. You can get it on my Teespring store if you want, but it's not the final version. There's going to be a little variation. The gator head's actually going to be black with red trim, so it'll stand out from the Meth Gator word.
Cool. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up here because I got to go play Dungeons and Dragons in 20 minutes.
Oh, nice. I'm going to get in my first league or whatever group in like a week.
Really?
Yeah, I've never played.
I'm actually going to be running the game here. Once this game that Chester's running, I'll be taking over. I'll be running it. Maybe I'll have to bring you in.
Yeah, can you click on my icon just so people can see like what the logo looks like?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, cool. It's Ghost Rider inspired.
Very cool. Yeah, like the old 70s Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's actually I've read a few sources. I've read like first like Marvel Spotlight stuff of Ghost Rider right from the start, and then various miniseries. I really like the potential. So people don't know this, but I planned 4 issues for Meth Gator, and the 4th issue is where I'm going to go kind of like Iron Man 3 and see how far I can push where the character can go and have like an opponent way over his head.
Okay.
Because 1 and 2, you have Iron Man against comparable villains, and then Iron Man 3, you have a guy that's like, you can cut him in half and he just reforms because he's got like weird magic science firepower, you know? So it's like,
awesome.
He cooks him like a turtle in his suit. So like, how does he fight him?
Cool. All right. I'm going to drop that link to the pre-launch page here one more time. Drop that in there. All right. Well, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll have to hang out with all y'all more. Get George on.
Hell yeah, dude.
Help on the campaign.
Yeah. George is like a friggin' treasure trove, man. And I appreciate you being here today, brother. I appreciate it. Everybody that stopped in here, Speaker of the Dead, Red Gaze, Orville guys, I very much appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. This coming Saturday, just to let everybody know real quick here, let me go ahead and share this other screen. I am having the crew from the Grim Reaper back.
Yes, I love Carla.
Carla and John are going to be back. Guys, just a quick update. They were really, really grateful for the GoFundMe that was set up for that to help them get back on their feet after their house burned down. And they are forging ahead on Grim Reaper 2, and they've hit their funding, and everything else from here on out is just gravy and hitting stretch goals. So really nice couple. Can't wait to have them back on again because it was fun as hell the last time I had them. But yeah, so check that out on Saturday. It'll be I believe it's going to be at 2:00 on Saturday. We're going to be doing that. And Angus, are you streaming it all this week, man?
I might throw a stream together tomorrow. I'm not sure. I just kind of been, life's been weird. I got a new job.
I got you. Got kids.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Wednesdays, yeah. It's a really busy day for me, so it's kind of thrown everything into a wrench and everything. I plan to go on not Grey Council, Den of Nerds in a bit. He invited me on for future Star Wars stream. It's probably gonna be a lot of random people, so it'd be cool to network. Yeah, I just uploaded It's gonna be tonight. Yeah, at 8.
Okay.
I'm not sure when I'm on, but I just uploaded first video in a while, the Red Sonja Age of Chaos review. I don't have like a style or format when I do it just off the cuff, but I just read it and I had fun with it. And yeah, I'll be getting back streaming soon. Gotta get them super chats.
Yep. I wouldn't know a damn thing about that. So
I haven't got much,
but we'll get there eventually, though, man. I will be there. I will be there someday. But yeah, anybody that everybody that checked us out, check out Angus on his channel. He does a lot of fun videos, and his streams are always fun, man. But George, everyone, give everybody your social media real quick and everything, and where they can find you, brother.
Well, you can find me at georgepetergatsis.com. In there, there's a contact page where it'll send you to the Instagram, to the Twitter, BitChute, everything. If you ever want to see how I draw in vector format, just type in georgepetergatsis.com and then space BitChute. I have hundreds of videos there, and some of those videos are actual learning videos, and you'll have fun watching me draw the Incredible Hulk cover, Incredible Hulk cover, my version of it. So
sweet, awesome! I just threw it up there for everybody. Yeah, definitely check it out, guys. And again, thank you everybody who was here. George Peter Gatsis, Black Angus, Tom, my buddy Tom, and Darth Daddy Lunga. We call him Tom the Immortal because, like I said, he's Tom the Immortal. Tom the Immortal Cummings. He is a robot that is driven on human blood. So, for fuel. But thanks for being here, everybody. And I'll see you guys all on Saturday. And yeah, have a great day, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, take care. See ya.
Oh, actually, no, wait, real quick before we.
We're all gonna freeze like a Naked Gun.
You know what? I gotta go out the way I came in, baby.
I barely hear anything. Sorry. There we go.
There we go. Doing it right. Throw them up. Thanks, guys. I am so lame.